Smoker lit.
Alright, so last night I took this hive and put it all together. This was a swarm that we caught, which I believe came from that hive, but I'm not 100% sure, of course. They say if you're going to catch a swarm from not your beehive, you put your swarm trap near your beehives. However, it would be pretty coincidental that this guy swarmed and then I caught this swarm, right? So yeah, so you can see I barricaded, I put a bunch of foliage up so they'd reorientate themselves because the swarm trap that I caught was in this tree right there. So the swarm trap was in that tree, and then I transferred them the 30 feet to there, so they had to reorientate themselves. One mistake that I did make is my swarm trap, I only had 7 frames in it. And last night I thought it was going to be this really easy thing to take the swarm trap body, because I was just using a deep, and just transfer it right onto that bottom board, put a lid on. However, that was not the case because bees like to fill in their space, and definitely swarms, because swarms are ready to build comb. That's what makes them so successful in finding a new home, is that they are comb ready. So they filled 6 frames of comb and a whole frame of empty space within 5 days. So it was just crazy amount of comb building on their skills. So what we're going to do next is open up this hive and scratch out, take off, I don't know, scrape out all of that extra comb that they built so we can use it to re-wax some frames. However, I did not put 8 frames in my swarm trap, and they decided to build on whoa, this huge extra colony piece, so my goal is to remove that, but a little spicy. So, brought the smoke today. Usually I don't wear smoke, but my goal is to force all these friends down, so we can remove this. So this top box was what I was using for a swarm trap. What I need to kind of look for is if the queen is on this or not. And it is awfully heavy. Swarms are really good at what they do. I should have brought a bee brush out with me. Tear up this comb a little bit, shake them off. That was not the best way to go about that. Really worried. That's my queen right there that I just drenched. Oh, it might be a drone. big drone. Worried that was my queen there for a second. It's not. This stuff is just all full of nectar. So maybe I'll just leave this kind of in pieces here, kind of like a food for them. Have to kind of force them down. So that was nice, airy and light. So I'm going to take that airy light comb out, melt it down to wax frames with. Prop that up into the side and they'll clean that all out. And then I'm going to leave these guys. I'm going to put I don't have a super box out here. Maybe I'll replace this with a super box just so they have a little less room up here. And then I'm going to give them a week before I get back into them, just because they just moved. What I didn't want them was to keep continuing all this comb up top, because I don't want them not on frames, right? So we're going to give them a week, kind of get settled in their new home, and then we are going to probably put a second box on them, because they were 8 frames full when we were in there. So that's it, kind of a cluster of video. Again, we just took that comb off the side. The stuff that is just full of nectar, I leave in there. That way they'll clean it up, so it'll get all airy and light like most of this stuff is. That one's a little heavy. We'll put that one back in here too. Put this one in there too. You can see that nectar just dripping off of it. A chance to clean that up and bring it down into the main box there. Alright, and that's that. So, like all bee experience, you always learn something new. So I wasn't really prepared to take out that wax. I didn't have anywhere to put it. It was a pretty big section of wax. So I should have been a little bit more prepared. I did come prepared with my smoker, so I think that calmed them down a little bit, because there was quite a lot of bees when I popped that lid, right? So definitely, be a little more prepared in that aspect, but I think that's kind of beekeeping in general, is you never know what you're going to get as soon as you pop that lid. That's why I think safety is so important. So if you like the shenanigans that it's got into, and obviously it was not the cleanest and it was not the most successful, but if you do, like, subscribe, and see you next time.